Hi, Editing Talesian here. And we had some hiccups during the stream today. I had lost connection a couple of times. The game had crashed a couple of times. My microphone was off at least once for a good stretch. So I'm going ahead and editing it and putting it together and reposting it up on YouTube. So this is just wanted to let you know. The full stream is there, just minus a few edits. So enjoy the stream, and I'll talk to you all soon enough. And now, to the stream. Mae Govannen, and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Talesian, and there you are, and here I am. And today, we're on the new Peregrin 64-bit servers. That has been an up and down show for Standing Stone Games for the past week or so. They've had some fun trying to get everything set up for them. And I'm glad I've got a character on there. Actually got my names reserved. But I know a lot of people are having transfer issues. I really hope they get that solved soon so that people can pop on the servers. Because, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. Being able to start on a brand new server again is kind of neat. And so let's just jump right in and get started. Now, I started I decided not to transfer any characters over. I decided to go ahead and just recreate. So I recreated Talesian. I recreated Callie, who was my jeweler and cook lore master on the main servers, and I went ahead and recreated Shentantra, who was my main character there, and I changed her look a little bit this time, so she looks a little bit differently. I kind of like the way this came out. But let's go ahead and log in. Now, we're going to be starting with the, I hope I chose the original starting zone for High Elves, because she's a High Elf here. So hopefully I got that started. I have not logged into the character as of yet. So here goes nothing. We'll see how this comes out. Also today, a little bit news, they had the Diablo 4 2.2.
In the year 3434 of the Second Age, a great alliance of elves and men assembled in defiance of the Dark Lord's will to conquer all the lands of Middle-earth. The High Elves, the Blessed of Valinor, who suffered the greatest wraths of Sauron and Morgoth the enemy, now seek to ensure that his evil is forever banished from the world.
First things first, let's see here. Let me see if I can remember this command real quick. UI. Yeah, I gotta look it up. I can't remember. I know that there's a command to... I just got to double check the command, make sure I'm doing this right. There it is. Yep. There we go. UI, layout, Chantra. And there we go. That's looking much better. Let's go ahead and... Oh, none of my plugins are loaded. I'm going to have to back out real quick because none of my plugins loaded. I've got to get that all set out. So let's go ahead and log out real quick. And let's get my plugins canceled. We want to go back to... Yes, we want to log out. I was correct, yeah. We want to go ahead and get my UIs loaded out because none of my UIs loaded. So like I said, I hadn't even done anything on this server yet. So I got to get all that set up. I need my UI and stuff. So we want to go to the plugin manager, manage plugins. Buff bars, all, stat, all, calendar, all, campsite just for Shentantra, deed tracker, everybody gets the deed tracker, festival but 2, everybody gets. Like I said, I had not done any of this, so... But luckily, I pretty much know what I want to load for everybody, so it's not that difficult. So I hope everyone is doing well today. I think that's just about all of them. There we go. So we got that all set up. Oh wow, that's the garb that you start in the very beginning of the high elf start. The Gorliad in the second age, the year 3434. So we'll go back in. And you should see a whole bunch of stuff pop up now. So I need something to drink.
In the year 3434 of the Second Age, a great alliance of elves and men assembled in defiance of the Dark Lord's will to conquer all the lands of Middle-earth. The High Elves, the Blessed of Valinor, who suffered the greatest wraths of Sauron and Morgoth the enemy, now seek to ensure that his evil is forever banished from the world. My dearest friend, as Sauron surely knows, the mastery is ours in this battle.
One eternity later.
Hopefully we can find Celondim down this way. Yantra, can it be? Follow me. Lady Hathorn shall want to speak with you. Looks like the fighting's pretty thick over here. You've not found Celondim or the Gwytherain, but a familiar elf stands before you. Hearthland.
Your tale troubles me, my friend, for Amroth spoke of a terrible figure that passed with an elf slung across his steed.
I am gladdened by this reunion, but there is little else to celebrate. The High King sent me and my company eastward to learn what had become of the elves of Lorien, but alas, only Prince Amroth remains upon the field. His father and the others were routed to the north, but where they have gone, we cannot follow. The prince is injured, but he will heal in time. I must ask, though, why have you come? You tell Hawthorne of the task given you by the High King himself, and of Celondim, the lost spear of Linden taken by one of the Gwytherain. Your tale troubles me, for Amroth spoke of a terrible figure that passed with an elf slung across his steed. Time may grow short for Celondim, my friend. I think it's time we learn more about what the prince saw. And I wonder what condition the prince is in. He's alright. Prince Amroth, can you tell my companion about the rider you saw? As much as I do not wish to recall him, I can. From what you have told me, he was one of the 9 Gwytherain, garbed in black and seated atop a great steed. I know not if he still lived, but an elf was slung limply across the Gwytherain steed. He lifted aloft a great mace, and with a crack of thunder, his master's statue was toppled. It was then that he looked upon me, and what remained beneath his hood sniffed madly at the air. There was sorcery in his gaze, I tell you, for his eyes were as flames in a void. Perhaps he thought me slain, for he then rode on into the hills. No, it cannot be. It can be no other, Hithago. The Witch King has taken Celondim. Beware, the men of the east who slew my father have an encampment in the hills, and it is there he must have gone. Thank you, Prince Amroth. If the men of the east hold the hillside, then we must go by secret steps.
If the Witch King has taken Celondim to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead.
When my company came to Prince Amroth's aid, I had heard a bright cry and a thunder like flapping wings from above. It sounded like some terrible flying creatures, great in size as the eagles. I cannot spy it through the smoke, but I am certain it lurked beyond my sight. I do not know if this creature is a servant of Sauron's, but its presence makes me fear all the more for Teleron. If the Witch King had taken him to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterlings' encampment ahead. The men of the East have grown arrogant behind Sauron's might, and they have left a small passage in their encampment open to woodlands. Follow me, and we shall sneak in to avoid the dangers of approaching their gate upon the road. Well, that's good. So we'll sneak into the encampment, and then we'll see if we can find Othello. Alright, well, here's the Easterling encampment. We must move quietly. It is not far now. Hold. The sentry seems on the edge of sleep. The stairs up the hill lead to the Overlook. You must save Teleron. And there are the hoofprints, too. There's the steed. The Witch King's steed thrashes wildly at your approach. He and Teleron must be nearby. Where are they? There we go. Yeah. You come too late, servant of Gil-galad. Your fear has left you defenseless, and the elf has been borne away by the winged beasts of my master. The Elf King will never see him again, for he shall suffer evermore in the dungeons of Barad-dûr. But you shall be changed, and you will return to Gil-galad as his greatest foe. Such is the will of Sauron. Suffer now, and rise anew into the realm of the unseen. Oh, there we go. Mumble. Lord Elrond, Shanchandra's raking at last. Rest easy, my friend. You are safe from harm in Meladris. The wound is healed, but she remains in need of rest. Well, I'm glad you're stubborn, Unsolved Vixen. And I have finally awoken. Wow. Well, I'm not feeling too bad, I guess. I'll only sleep for a couple hours, alright? Hey, Starlugo. How you doing? Doing fine. Had some interesting stuff happen to me here. As you can see, got to work on my UI a little bit, and I got kicked off the stream, and my mic got reset. But we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
It brings me great joy to see you upon your feet once more, my friend.
Yes. Yes, this is Peregrin, the new 64-bit server. I decided instead of having crossing characters over, I decided to start fresh. And so far, so good. We'll see how things go, though. After you fell, we attempted to heal you upon the battle plane, but the Witch King of Angmar had dealt you a grievous injury. One unlike any dealt to our peoples before by the hands of the Dark Lord. The decision was made to turn you in Ladris, far from the lands of the enemy. You suffered for years in restless agony as my healers worked to free you of the evils that had lingered in your wound. When the war was ended, I returned to aid them and then learned much of the healing of foul wounds from the Morgul steel. When at last you could rest, you did so for many long years. Despite my efforts, your strength has diminished greatly. It may take a great time, but I believe you shall again know the power that lies within you. As for the task given you by Gil-galad, do not consider it a failure, Shanchandra. None could have foreseen the enemy's malice in sending his Nazgul to seize Teleron. Tragically, he was never found, even after Barad-dûr itself was brought to ruin. It wounded Gil-galad greatly to lose you both in the war, and it said that his light was dimmed through all the battles that had followed. Even so, he did not falter before the enemy. No, you did not fall in vain, my friend. Our victory on the battle plane that day bore fruit indeed. Sauron resisted our assaults for 7 years in the Dark Tower. But in the end, he was cast down by Gil-galad and Elendil. Elendil's son Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger, destroying the Dark Lord and banishing him from this realm. Alas, there's more to be said on these matters. Walk with me. You remember the war as if it were yesterday, do you not? You are one of the few that remain in this realm that can recall it as I do, my friend. I come here often to reflect upon the sacrifices we made in that war. Indeed, Gil-galad and Elendil defeated the Dark Lord, but they did so at the cost of their own lives. The realms of elves and men were thus forever changed, and the world passed into the Third Age. And so it has been for many years now. I do not wish to alarm you, but it is now the 3018th year of the Third Age. I've been asleep for over 3,000 years. Even if much else has changed, Imladris is as you remember it. You have borne many burdens in your time, my friend, and so I give you leave to depart to the Havens if you wish it. There is another here who sustained a terrible wound in the war. Hithagol is his name. Since chance has woken you today, perhaps he too is healed of the enemy's wounds. See if he has woken from his long rest, then we shall speak more of your journey to the Havens. So let's see how Hithagol is. Despite appearing outwardly healed, Hithagol seems to be in a deep, uneasy slumber. His strength is returning, but he remains in restless slumber. A few months more, I think.
Much has changed since we last traveled together from Imladris, my friend.
It is unfortunate to hear of Hithagol's continued ills, but I hope he shall soon recover as you have. You see, when the battle came at last to Baradur, Sauron himself felled Hithagol with a deadly blow, and it seemed only by the grace of the Valar that he was not at once ended. Even still, the steel of the Dark Lord's weapons was tainted in much the same way as the blade that pierced you, and he has suffered its effects as you did for many long years. Now then, we have spoken enough of the past. Let us turn our minds to the days ahead. Much has changed since we last traveled together from Imladris, my friend. It seems now an age of men, and I sense the time of the elves of Middle-earth draws near to its end. Indeed, many have departed this realm for the uttermost west by the ships of Celeondim, our friend of old. He is now called the Shipwright by those who know of his works, and he dwells in Mithrond, with the few that still remain in his servants are skilled crafters. Much of the wood used by Celeondim is ferried to Mithrond by way of a port in Celondim, along the arid Luan, and it is there you must journey to reach the Havens. And I have gathered your belongings and a few supplies for your journey. I have set your ring in its case upon the table across the room, and your armor rests in a chest at your bedside. It is still marked from battle, but time has not worn it elsewise. Indeed, the passing of an age has dimmed only our light, and has given rise to a shadow in the east. Concerning such matters, I have also prepared you a tome of writings in the history of the Third Age thus far. You're free to claim them ere you depart. Once you are prepared, we shall speak more of your journey to Celondim. So here are the writings that Elrond has put together for me. A collection of writings for you concerning the events of the Third Age. And then if I come back over to where I was resting, there should be... Yep. The jeweler's case, which should have my ring. Within this ornate box, your eye catches the glimmer of the ring you once bore. And then here is my sealed collection of armor. As you glance within, the faint shine of your old armor catches the light.
Eladon and Elrohir are to follow an expedition to the ruins of Ithilien, and they shall see you to Celondim in the course of their travels.
In time, your strength will return, my friend, and the power of your ring shall rise with it. Hope my writings prove to be of use to you as well. I recount much of the time that passed while your wound healed, but even I cannot be aware of all that has transpired since the end of the Second Age. Yeah, I guess they do too, unthought Vixen. As for your journey, my son shall see you to Celondim in the course of their own travels. Eladon and Elohir are to follow an expedition to the ruins of Hidrion led by the elf Doralias on my behalf. But speak not of this to any outside of their company. I had a strange premonition. and in it, amidst a field of blurred visions, a voice rose, saying, "Blood-red footsteps upon snow-colored black, where the dour king walks to take back his throne and finish what was begun." It is a troubling riddle, my friend, and one that I do not think soon solved. Have any thoughts on its meaning? You hear a muffled crack as the doors to Thamsend open. Ah, it is just as well. Such troubles are best left to Dorlus and his expedition. My sons await you by the door to the central courtyard, and when you are ready to depart, they shall guide you to Celondim along the arid Lewin. May your journey be swift and free of hardship, my friend. Nabari. And let's see, do I want to hone dagger or do I want to hone axe? I'll take the dagger. And I got a bunch of stuff. We'll go ahead and equip some of it now. Because the gear that, even my old time-worn gear, is still much better than the stuff that I'm currently wearing. And there's my ring. Talika. And it, by the way, this is a special ring that all the elves get to start with. And as I level, it will actually grow in power. It's probably a ring I will only trade for short times here and there as I level. Well, I got some violet dye, which I'll save. And a radiant basin for the home. I don't really like hooded cloaks all that much. Later, there's some healing potions, gifts, and food, and another ring for a little later on. Okay, I don't look too bad. My cloak's a little ragged though, but I don't look too bad. Get this off my quick slot. And there's Eladon and Elra here, so we'll talk to them.
I am certain Father has told you all about the journey ahead. But do not worry. The matter of his dream need not trouble you.
So Father has last given you leave to travel from Eladris? I must say I'm excited to learn more of the battles of ages past from you. Father told us not to bother you with so many questions. This is likely our last chance, is it not? I am certain Father has told you all about your journey ahead, but do not worry. The matter of his dream need not trouble you. Besides, the journey to Celondim shall give us time enough to speak on other matters. I would think that the events of the past 3,000 years would be of some interest to you. My brother and I stand ready to set out for the arid Lewin. If you are prepared, we shall depart at once. And I am now level 5. Got a title rewarded, the Wary, because I defeated level 5 without being defeated in battle, which will go ahead. I'm gonna name myself Shantrantra of Emeladris for now. Remote quest, a sea unsettled. You arrived in Celondim with the sons of Elrond 1 month ago, and the time soon approaches to sail to Mithrond. However, Elrond's decision to offer you a choice of whether to leave Middle-earth or remain to aid its peoples has weighed heavily upon you during your travels. And then, of course, Bengo Boffin. We'll worry about him in a little bit, but I will probably answer his request. And I get to choose a specialization. Now, for hunters, there's primarily 2 specializations. The Trapper of Foes is sort of an add-on. It's not, I don't know if you can actually spec to it directly. I forget. But the 2 primary ones are Huntsman and Bowmaster. The Huntsman gives you the ability to move while you do a lot of your combat, which I found especially helpful on the Angmar server when I was fighting the Wraiths, the Nazgul, because being able to move around and still being able to do damage means I could basically kite them. Because I also have shots that can slow down your movement speed, so I could kite easier that way. The Bowmaster, though, does greater damage, but is a stationary. I tend to go Huntsman just because it's my play style. And I'm going to go ahead and max out Strong Draw, because that's bonus damage for any bow skills that consume focus, and I have a couple of them that do. And those are all locked. And Virtue Experience is temporarily locked too, because I don't think I can use my Virtue Potions yet. Nope, they're still locked. But I can go ahead and equip the Copper Ring of Vigor or the Sapphire Ring of Fleetness. 8 Fate, 2 Vitality, 8 Tact Mitt, 3 Agility, 1 Vitality. We'll do that one. Because I can only wear 2 rings, and I'd rather have that one than Taliko right now. And of course, VIP rewards.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The VIP rewards for those who are VIP is a very, very valuable thing. It definitely makes the price of a subscription to Lord of the Rings Online worth it. You get 2 items. One of them is a jug, and when you use that jug for 14 days, it accelerates all crafting time, prevents all item wear. And the other one is Subscriber Town Services.
Greetings, friend.
And I swear I could not play Lord of the Rings Online without it. It is that valuable. With this jug, I can browse a shop, I can open my vault, shared storage, wardrobe, or the auction house, and when I get later in levels, I can actually forge my legendary item, all from this jug. And I've got my 320 shared storage, too. All my shared storage value copied over from... That's good. And my personal storage... I only got 30. I'll have to add some more to it. I'll end up and buy a few things probably in a bit offline. Because I also got to go through all of my packets and rearrange my bags and stuff. That's going to take me a while, but I'll do all that off camera. One thing I will do, however, though, is I will browse the shop. Don't want to get rid of a few things. Keep the dye, keep the basin. There we go. Those are the 4 things I want to sell. Does that look about right? Yes, it does. It looks exactly right. 4 things I want to sell. All right. Prologue. A Sea Unsettled. Talk to Tetheron. So let's see, where is Tetheron? There he is, right here. Get something to drink. I really do enjoy the VIP rewards. They make this game so much nicer. Let me go ahead and fix my quick slot bars. There we go. Move that up there. Just trying to set all of my icons where I like them. Because there'll be other icons that'll fill in as levels go. There we go. Well, be good to see you on the server. Like I said, this is the Peregrin server. This is one of the new 64-bit ones. As you can see, it seems to be fairly stable. A little crowded, which is nice. I still have to work on my UI a little bit, and I'll worry about that more a little bit later on. But I wanted to get going. I've been wanting to play for a few days, so I'm glad they finally got everything going. I was actually a little worried. No, crowded is definitely not a bad thing at all. I actually like the idea that it's a little crowded. It'll be nice. But I've been wanting to play for a few days, and I've been holding off, waiting for them to get the server going. So. Shantrantra, have you heard the good tidings? The time has come at last to sail the Mithlond and to bless the Valinor. We have waited only 1 month, but each day has seemed a year since we arrived in Celondim. The burdens of this realm will soon be behind us, but I am curious if the sons of Elrond found what they sought in the ruins of Hadrian. I've heard many tales of the sorrowful history of that place, and how it came to ruin by the hand of a disreputable dwarf named Skorgrim Dourhand. But it's laid empty for many long years now. Wonder if anything remains to be found there. I've never walked upon the shores of the Blessed Realm, but I've heard many tales of Elenor. Your forebears who once dwelt there, did they not? Did you as well? Tetheron pauses a moment and studies your face. You look restless, my friend. What troubles you on such a joyous day? What troubles you? You tell Tetheron that your thoughts are drawn to your friends and kin, and to the choice that was given to you to remain in Middle-earth if you shall wish to. Why would you wish to remain here? As you must know well, the lands of Elenor heal all ills and replenish our spirits. The concerns of this realm are ours no longer. Tartheon senses that his words have not convinced you. I see. Well, perhaps you should reflect upon the paths of your friends and kin to guide you? Reflect upon the paths of your friends and kin. Ah, there's one of them right there. Glorfindel. You reflect upon the path of Glorfindel, who remained in Middle-earth to stand against the evils of the enemy and the most vile of his servants. You think upon Glorfindel's deeds in the elder days of the world, and how his resolve has never faltered, even when confronted with death. Holding up thing too. Yep. Yeah, I have a main on Landroval. I was actually tempted to copy her over. She's like 105 or 106. But when Angmar started and I started a brand new character there, I kind of got the itch to start new characters. So I figured, you know what? Let's just go ahead, start again. Not going to hurt anything. People, hopefully people will enjoy the streams and such. But starting up in the middle of a story like that, I don't think that's a good idea. I'd rather go ahead and start clean. Your reflection upon the path of Glorfindel fills you with hope. Ah, an Elrond half-elven. You reflect upon the decisions of Elrond half-elven, once the herald of Gil-galad, whose time in this realm draws near to its ending. You consider Elrond's words, for he said to you that you might depart from the uttermost west if you truly wished it, and that the burdens of this realm no longer fall to you. You consider that he kept you in Imladris, that the choice might one day be yours, rather than sending you to revive in the uttermost west. That is most definitely true. Ah, King Gil-galad. You reflect upon the path of Gil-galad, the High King of the Elves, and the bravery he possessed as he thought and fell to purge the evils of Morgoth and Sauron from the world. You consider the loss of the elf, Theleron, and the pain of losing a companion during the war as Gil-galad did. You consider the loss of your king, and you understand what his sacrifice meant for the peoples of Middle-earth. Fills you with determination. Yep, I know a lot of people who are doing that too. They're bringing their characters over for the housing permits, because there's going to be basically once they open up housing, it's going to be a free for all, a mad rush to housing, and I'm going to be interested to see how that goes. I'm going to wait on the housing myself a little bit. I'm probably going to be reforming my kin that I had on Angmar. Once I open up kinships and stuff like that, or once I open up kin houses, I'll probably end up and get a kin house again once I end up getting up enough money. But we'll see. We'll see. So where is the next person I need to talk to? I know what house I want, but I don't know what neighborhood, though. It's not really that picky in my neighborhood, to be honest. Yeah, I chose a personal house and a kin house in the Shire. I may go around and choose an elven home this time, just because Shantra here is an elf. But we'll see. I'm not going to be very picky about that either. It's wherever I can get a good place to go. You reflect upon the decisions of Celondim the shipwright, who remained in Middle-earth that others of his kin might depart for the blessed realm of Eleanor. He fills you with grace. Where is the fifth one? Up there. Ah, Hearthland. You reflect upon the decisions of your dearest friend Hearthland, who has chosen to remain in Middle-earth and freed of evils before the time comes to bequeath it to men. You consider her duty to the peoples of this realm, and that she hoped you might remain to aid her in the battles against the evils of this world. And it fills you with courage. Ah, so you return. What has your reflection led you to? You tell Tartharon that you desire to remain in Middle-earth. It is not a choice I make, but I understand it, friend. You have made it your purpose to confront the force of evil wherever they take hold, and though it does not seem so here in Celondim, it is true that great evils are again at work in this realm. You see, while you were reflecting, Elladan and Elrohir arrived in Celondim and asked to speak with you at once. I told them I would deliver their request when you returned, and they now wait for you near the stable master. My path leads to the uttermost west, but it seems yours now leads elsewhere. May the Valar guide you, and may your days come, and may you one day come to find peace in Valinor. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are looking for a tougher game, in every starting location, Mossword, here, I think there's one in Thorn's Hall, I know there's one, I think there's also one in Bree, I want to say. You look for the Hardened Traveler. What you can do is, if you wish it, you can increase the difficulty level and make things much more difficult. Basically, you do less damage, your foes do more damage, but it's only based on your character. It doesn't affect anybody else. And there's also a task at finding tokens of heroism, which you can earn as you quest on those higher levels. And he has a task for you for them. And then you can turn around and barter some items from him, too. I tend to not do that. I tend to like the difficulty of the game where it is, because this is more of a fun thing for me to do, of a hobby for me to do. I don't need to go around and try to find something that's going to make it so tough that it gets frustrating. I just want it to be fun. I just wanted to enjoy it, kick back on the story, kill a few mobs, have some fun. But for those of you who are looking for a bigger travel or for a more difficult game, you talk to your Hardened Traveler and you can increase the difficulty. Elladan wants to talk. I'm glad you have not yet departed. I feared we would be too late. Elladan and Elrohir's faces betray grave concerns. There are grim forces at work here in Erelund, my friend. The terrible Gaunt Lord Ivar has bound vile spirits to the corpse of the Dwarf Lord Skorgrim, and now the Dour Hands think him their leader reborn. Our foes escaped, and now the enemy has beguiled the Dour Hands into his service. Elrohar gives Elladan a knowing look. Indeed, the truth must be told, mother. When Father spoke of the shadow in the east, he spoke of Sauron. The Dark Lord has returned once again, and he has set his servants across the many lands of this realm in search of the ring that was lost. If Sauron recovers the ring, no host shall remain to stand against him, and all will be lost. The time will soon come when the peoples of this realm are called to war, and I beg that you remain to guide them and make safe the lands of Middle-earth. It is a great demand to make of one as storied as you, and at so final an hour. But I would not ask it if the need were not dire. It shall soon be a realm of men, and it must survive for them to inherit it. I beg you, will you remain? You tell Elladan and Erohir that you've chosen to remain in the realm of Middle-earth. To have you among the forces that stand against Sauron brings me new hope for the days that lie ahead. You should aid the folk in Celondim and the lands beyond to hone your skills for the battles that surely await us. When the time comes, we shall call upon you to join us. And now, I have no quests. So I'm going to go back here, and there were some quests that some people had. He actually has a flaming ring, so this is probably the start of the epic quest. If you see people who have the burning rings, those are the main story quest line. Those are the ones that, if you want to further the story, these are the people you talk to in the quests that you do.
Will you lend me your ear?
Prologue. Unlike Everthal, I have heard that you are well-traveled. Perhaps you've seen my son Everthal on your journeys? I received a message from him saying that he was coming to Duillond to visit, but he has not yet arrived. That is most unlike him. In his journeys here, he oft speaks with the travelers along the road and visits the Vale of Nen Hilleth with a friend of his, a dwarf named Aethel. Aethel watches the road and helps the few dwarf travelers who come to Celondim. Perhaps Everthal is speaking to him now and has simply forgotten the time. Would you seek him? Head across the woods southwest of Celondim to the Vale of Nen Hilleth. There's a small camp of elves there. If you don't find Everthal there, then perhaps you will find Aethel. If so, speak to Aethel and see what news he may have of Everthal. Okay. No, I can understand people wanting to play with a harder difficulty. I mean, I can understand. I mean, I was actually sort of tempted to do it on Angmar, and that has the Veil of the Nine mechanic on it. So I was actually a little tempted to try that myself. But in the end, I said, no, I don't need that much frustration. Especially because I ended up losing the ability to get my level 20 title because I died right around here. One of the very first times that a Nazgul popped up, decided to slap me around a little bit. Yeah, that's not for everyone, but it's okay. If people want to do that, they're more than welcome to, which is why I like to bring it up. But me, I think I'll go ahead and stay right where I'm at. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, spend a few minutes here. I want to get myself looking a little bit better. I want to wear some of the nicer armors that I've got. So let's go ahead, pop up a cosmetic outfit. Cloak of Narmalith's Redemption. And that's going to go into the bank. That's a steed. I don't like hooded cloaks. Oh, and all the gift boxes to open up. And I don't need fireworks. The Minas Morgul items. Yeah, we'll go ahead and... Horse. There's an account-wide title for each class you level in the harder difficulties. As I understand it, to get to the titles, you have to start it before level 11 and not turn down the difficulty until you get the title. I've heard that too, and that was one of the reasons why I was actually sort of tempted to do it, at least on Angmar. But in the end, I chose against it. It wasn't something that really interested me. It would have been a nicety, but I don't know. How's the armor of the Three Peaks? Looks on me. Doesn't look too bad. But I don't know if I want that. And then those three will definitely go into storage until such a time as I reach that. And this is good. I actually have an ad break that's going to come up in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and spend this time prior to the ad break and during the ad break organizing my inventory and getting myself the way I look. And then we'll get back to things. Hopefully I should be done by about that time and have everything in storage. But we can also chat, too. I have no problem with chatting. I shall keep the willow fireworks. But, I tend to find a lot of MMOs. I've been playing MMOs for so many years now that they tend to lose the difficulty levels with me too. And you know what? There's actually nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. It can be kind of nice once you've got a familiarity enough with MMOs that you can go ahead and, just kind of play and relax. It's actually kind of nice. So I don't begrudge people wanting a higher difficulty, and but I choose not to do it. And now I can turn around and use all of my mounts. I went ahead a long time ago and brought the journeyman riding trait account wide. It just makes life so much easier. It's a lot less to worry about. And it actually wasn't all that expensive either, so. There we go. That's the blue orb one. Oh, we'll keep the dragon fireworks. Those are neat. So we got the ad break that's going to start in about a minute and some change. Like I said, I'm just going to let it run. It's only a minute. I only run my ads for a minute. So you guys will not be gone long. And hopefully by that time, I will have all of this stuff figured out. Cosmetic armor, flowing silver. I really do like that. I think I will probably actually wear that. Because I think the Elk of Flowing Silver is also part of that collection too, and I've always been partial to elks. So let's go ahead and open up the wardrobe and start slotting. And then I can go ahead and get rid of it because I don't need it once it's there. Because I can always get it again. I just create another character and I can get it again. But I do want to save the time-worn stuff. Small races because I like being a tank. Yep. That's actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people who like that too. I personally prefer to be taller races, but that's just me. It actually is. I used to play EverQuest a lot, and I had a one of my favorite characters was a gnome necromancer. You know, the little tiny gnome, because I'd make him as small as possible, and then have these great big skeletons and stuff following me around. I just thought it was neat. Hornberg Defender? No, that's not me. So we're just gonna get rid of it. That does not look like who I envisioned this character to be, and the slightest. And I am almost done. I'm just putting stuff into my vault. And then I should just about be done. Oh, I'm out of room. Alright, well, give me one quick second here, and I will give myself some room. Or maybe not. There we go. I'm just doing some things right now, picking up some stuff from the store. You don't need to see all that stuff, but I have to do some of it right now. Let's try it again. Or maybe I won't. Okay. We won't worry about it anymore, though. There we go. And the last thing we will do is add space to bags. Because I want 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, and 6. And then put things where I know where they're at. And we are almost done. And I already know what crafting I want to do. There we go. And then last thing I want to do is get myself sort of kitted out here a little bit. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. Much better. Okay. And then one of the nice things here, one of my add-ons that I really, really like is called Horsey. And what it allows me to do is it allows me to quickly choose random mounts that I really like the elk. Festive Azure horse is nice. Steed of Starlight looks neat. Valiant Sword, Steed of the Dunedain. Definitely want that. And then just doing that and that nets me that. And I'm set. Alright, let's start doing some questing. Mae Govannen. I will engage in trade if that is what you wish, but I will not accept coin. Such things are not the way of the elven folk, and I will hold to our traditions. In defense of the forest.
You may be of service to me.
Our time is closing in this land. Soon will be but legend and memory to the mortals who will remain upon these shores. While we are still here, however, we must do what we can to ensure that these lands remain safe and beautiful. The preservation of the land is why I have come to the port of Celondim. My brethren and I have been looking into recent events in a glade to the north, and I'm here to enlist any willing to go there and assist us in discovering the source of infestation of sickle flies among the trees to the west and southwest of the port. If you're willing, remove the threat of the sickle flies from the trees and report to Overlist at Nen Hiliath to the southwest. Okay. I can do that. Got a whole bunch of things on my... There we go. Alright. So it looks like I need to head sort of over this way. I think he wants to talk about crafting.
Mind
Yes.
my words, traveller.
Welcome to Fellowthorn. You can see the harbour city of Celondim up the hill to the northeast, and the refuge to Duillond is further to the north. But I can see that you have a desire to fashion goods, to practice your ability to create things of substance and use. It's my recommendation you visit my friend Gwaliath at the terrace overlooking Celondim, where many useful and comely goods are fashioned. Go up the hill to the northeast of the city and follow the path to the left as it winds up the hillside. Atop the stairs, follow the path southwards to the terrace. Weldolf will be pleased to help you learn how to begin your journey as a craftsman. I can do that off camera. I pretty much know what I want to go ahead and what crafting skills I want to take. I'm probably going to take Scholar and no Scholar for sure, because I definitely want Scholar. Go. And there are certain deeds that you get. Ugh, I'm not a huge fan of the new deed log, but there are certain class-related deeds that you can get. Blindsided, striking enemies with blindside. Quick as the wind, which is striking enemies with quick shot. And swift and sharp, which is using swift arrow, barbed arrow, or lingering wound. Those are class-related ones based upon skills that you use and use repeatedly. I tend to not really worry about them too much. They usually just tend to pick them up as I'm going on. But if you are interested in them, they are right there in your deed log. Alright, I made level 6. And large task. Gather. Large crafting. Gather. There we go. Let's go ahead and get my healing potion on my bar. There we go. And I think I did pick up another point. We'll go ahead and continue that. Because any bows that consume focus will now do a whole lot more damage. we go. I've already taken care of the veil fly, so we'll go ahead and head to Nen Halith and see if we can find Aethel or Avathal. Oh, and deeds are a wonderful way to actually pick up extra LOTRO points for picking up storage slots, picking up crafting, or picking up large containers. Like I picked up the large task item carry-all and crafting carry-alls. Great for doing that. And you pick them up just while you're playing. Ah, there's Aethal right there.
Well met, friend.
Nay, I am still here waiting for Avathal. He requested I meet him here at the Vale of Nen Halith and is yet to arrive. I meant to enter the Vale myself, but the elves made me not to enter, and being that Avathal is not here to speak for me, I dare not risk angering them. I am sorry, but I cannot be more help to you or Lord Caradavor.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
It is not like Avathal to be late, at least without sending word, nor to put aside his usual habits. Still, he has spent much time in contemplation in recent days. When Avathal desires solitude for quiet thought, he spends much of his time beneath the white trees in this vale. Perhaps he's amongst them now, unbeknownst to anyone. Would you go there and find him? I would, of course, but I shall not defy the will of the elves. Make your way to the Vale of Nen Halith and search for any signs of Avathal. I pray that you find him hale and hearty. But if not, perhaps you will at least find some sign of him, even if just his pack. And Aurelius has a quest. See what he wants. Oh, I need to talk to him about In Defense of the Forest after getting rid of the veil flies.
Mae Govannen.
Leonin had you fighting back the sickle flies? Good. It has become necessary to drive them out of the forest, lest they kill the trees. Your aid will be welcome here, but there is much to do. Oh, definitely the bow. Definitely the bow. And now I'm working on becoming an ally of Eredluin by completing quests. 10 virtue points, 2,000 XP, and increased reputation with Thorin's Hall. And reputations are very important. For instance, the Thorin's Hall reputation, when you max it out, you get to take one of the prize goats from Thorin's Hall. And that actually becomes a very, very important mount when you get to Moria. All the horses and stuff that I've picked up, I can't ride any of them in the Mines of Moria. I can ride the boar that I have, and I can ride this goat and other goats that I pick up. Because you need a little more sure footing and a little more sturdiness in order to handle the mines. So horses would just break their legs, according to this game. So, always good to work on your factions. Plus, there's a grand overall faction for getting well known with all of the 11 factions in Eriador. You become world renowned and you get a special mount and such. So it's always good to work on factions. I never skip them on any playthrough.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Trouble at Nen Halith. Your arrival heralds a time of hope. We have yet to discern what caused the wolves to empty into this valley. Perhaps with your assistance we will soon learn the reasons behind the invasion. The two other Glade Wardens here, Gleverlan and Helithel, will explain the tasks that I set before them. See to their requests and earn their favor, and then you shall have mine. Sounds good to me. And there's Gleverlan.
Will you lend me your ear?
Wood for wine. Our efforts are here to recover the land from this new threat, that is clear. We are also here at the behest of our kinsman. In Celondim, there is a vintner who wants only to make a final offering to store enough wine to survive our journey to the west. I have offered to recover enough wood to build such a cask. You will need to search the wood in this vale for wood that has not been spoiled by the sickle flies of the wolves. Return to me when you have collected enough sturdy pieces of wood, and I will grant you my favor. Okay. And here's the other warden.
Mind my words, traveler.
Mae Govannen, Hunter. I overheard your discussion with Orvalis and hope that you are willing to assist us. This vale was once a place of inspiring beauty where we could come and commune with nature. It has fallen far from those days since the incursion of these wolves. It is unclear where the wolves came from or why they chose to dwell in this valley, but it is clear they must be removed to ensure that nature can return to its balance. Enter the valley and destroy the wolves to ensure the future of the valley. Return to me when you complete this task. You will have earned my favor. Okay. Those sound both like reasonable requests. Besides, I need to find Averthal anyway. Alright, there's a pile of lumber. Let's see how well this new boat works. Oh, much better. And of course, there's a Wolf Slayer deed. It's all most of the Slayer deeds in Lord of the Rings Online. There are 2 levels to them. There's a basic and an advanced. For this case, the basic is just 30, and the advanced is usually double the amount, so it'll be 60. They will get as high as 100, 200 later on in the game. And I picked up a quest item. Looking closely at this crude collar, you can see that it is not the handiwork of elves or dwarves. Perhaps Overlords will be able to determine some measure of insight from this collar, and should deliver it to him. Alright, so there's a collar. We'll just move that there. Is that a goblin? Nope, that was not a good one. Oh. Is that a goblin that has a satchel? Great. You recover a leather satchel. Alright, well that looks like that's all of the wood that I need. Still need to get rid of a few more wolves. There we go. So here's your wood.
What do you need?
Yes, this wood will certainly do. The ship please the cooper and the vintner both. The white ships will certainly now be supplied with the finest wine from Eredluin. Well, that's good.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Cooper and cask. Now that you've collected the wood, I would ask one more favor from you, friend. The cooper in Celondim, Regadur, needs the wood to craft his casks. I would ask that you seek him out at the highest levels of Celondim on the tiers of the crafters northeast of this location. Deliver the wood to him that he may build a proper cask. Okay. And then in Elithil, I went ahead and took care of the wolves.
What can I do for you?
Nature calls once again from the Vale, and I can feel its course through my being. We cannot rest on this virtue, but you have brought hope where there was sorrow. You have earned my favor. So let's talk to Averthal, because I went ahead and did find that pack.
Greetings, traveler.
This is Averthal's pack, I am certain. I fear that something untoward has had befallen my friend. Please, take this to Cardivore and tell him that I will do whatever I can to help find my friend, his son. And trouble at Ninhilla.
How can I be of service?
You have done well. We will keep vigil here at Ninhilla. I think you are now needed elsewhere. We shall not soon forget all you have done for us here at Celondim. And I'll do that one. And I am now level 7. I like to keep the time-worn stuff.
What do you need?
I know this handiwork. It is the handiwork of goblins. We must inform the others in Celondim. The goblins have grown this aggressive, and we must do what we can to drive them back to our homes.
Stay a moment.
We cannot let another moment pass without informing others of the arrival of the goblins. Perhaps Lord Dorangur's protection is weakening as we make our way to the shores to depart. Or perhaps the enemy grows stronger faster than we expect. Regardless, we must send word back to Celondim and my superior there. Quickly, return to Laren the Glade Watcher at Celondim and tell him what you have found. And he's at the docks. Alright. Actually, let's do this. And that's just for personal use. Because it just makes... I know where to go for things if I have them in the right places. And I usually come back, I'll probably spend a day just working on deeds once I, later on. Usually go back through some of the older zones and do monster slayings and do all the locations and stuff that I haven't done as part of the main story quest and so forth. Because that's a whole bunch of extra LOTRO coins that are desperately needed. And this right here is the crafting area. I already know what crafts I want to take. And there's Bregador right there. Cooper and Cask.
Greetings to you.
Mallwood? Excellent. I have been kept busy enough to think that I may soon need assistance. You'll have my thanks for this delivery. This wood will serve nicely as a cask for fine elven wine.
You may be of service to me.
Need of a cask. Hunter, if you would take a moment, I have a request of you. A dear friend to me, Bretherin, spends her days tending the grapes at Limiel's vineyard to the north and west. She sent word to me not long ago that she required a cask for a special wine she wanted to present upon the white ships. I have crafted a cask for her, but need someone to take it to her since the preparations for our departure keep me very busy. Would you take the cask to her? You will find her to the north and west in the Limiel's vineyard. I could do that. And I'll come back and I'll do all of my crafting stuff later on. I'm not going to worry about it right now on stream. Let's see. We need to remove the crafting quests. Word of warning. Talk to Laren the Glade Watcher. Down this way. Ah, yes, my elk. Somewhere around here? Oh, there he is. A word of warning.
Mae Govannen.
This discovery is worrisome. I will see this information is passed on to Lord Dorangurd at Duillond. We would never have learned of this enough for you. We are in your debt. And didn't he have another
How may I
quest
be of
for me?
service to you?
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, and you can also always buy, from him, because during the quest you pick up tokens of salutation. And I think I want the Novice's Mark, because that's just, it's a pocket item, and increases your combat speed. So I usually grab that. And equip it. So the sleigh bell, I can do without the sleigh bell for now. And we'll go ahead quickly and make a character item so that I can use it. There we go. And here's Carnivore, who I need to talk to because I found that satchel.
My heart cannot sing today.
This is Avothal's satchel, I am certain of it. Do you see the pattern on the side? Avethal stitched it that himself long ago. You bring me fell tidings. You're sure there are no other signs of Avethal? Some sign that my son might have been hiding nearby, safe from wolves or other dangers, but too far away to reclaim his satchel? Nay, that is a weak hope, and I must not trust it. Some foe has brought down my son, my Avethal. That is the only answer.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Prologue. The Wrath of the Elves. The goblins have slain my son, and for that we will sweep them from Ered Luin. No goblin will take so much as 3 steps in these lands before we are there to greet him with sword blade or arrowhead. Go forth and slay goblins wherever you find them, and cry aloud the name of Avethal. I would have the foul creatures know whose doom has come upon them. While you were gone, word came to me that Lineal's Gim vineyard has been defiled by goblins led by a vile creature called Pamprosh. Seek out Pamprosh and his minions and slay them in the name of Avethal. Lineal's vineyard lies northwest of Celondim. Well, I was heading there anyway, so... And now we take our first steps to a wider world. Nah, it's too scary. I want to go back. I think this is the way I want to go. Yes. But actually, there's a few things I want to do around here. Whoa! My game just crashed. That's not nice. I had not expected that. I guess I'll have to relaunch. That was totally unexpected. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm honestly not surprised. It would not surprise me at all. That looks much better. That looks much better. So I started this off with a bow shot. Yeah, we gotta close all these out. People are saying it's connected to the new deed log. I would not be surprised, being totally honest. Would not surprise me at all. That deed log was not... I don't know. It doesn't look... It doesn't look good to me, personally. I mean, I'll live with it, but it's not really what I wanted. At least my UI stayed. Let's try it again. Let's see if I crash again. Alright, I didn't crash that time. Yeah, one of the crafting skills I will probably take Scholar and Tailor and Forester will probably be the 3 skills I grab. The reason why I always grab Scholar on my hunters is they make a Scholar makes a lot of the really good hunting, a lot of the really good hunter stuff. They make the hunter oils that I'll use later on. They make the battle lore scrolls and crafting lore scrolls that are very handy. So it's always worth it, I think, for a hunter to take take Scholar. And so I'll have to grab a universal toolkit. I'll definitely need to grab a Stone of the Tortoise, because I will easily, the way that I play, I will easily out-level zones faster than you can, faster than you can say. Just because I'm the type of person, like I said, this to me is just fun. Just going through and, killing mobs for deeds. I enjoy that. It doesn't bother me. I don't look at it as grinding. I look at it as enjoyable, hobby, I guess would be lack of a better term. I play a very laid-back and relaxed MMO. I like to chat. I like to, talk about what I'm doing, explain things out as I go. There we go. And that's the person I need to do. There's Breath of Wind right there. Need of a cask.
Greetings to you.
I only wish that this thoughtful gift from Bergadur had not arrived during such dire times. In the situation at the vineyard, I fear that the cask may go empty for our journey.
Sweet Lord Melon, will you stay a moment?
Gleaning the field. By this time of the year, most of the grapes have been picked and the wine already bottled. This is a very generous season. However, many of the vines are still laden with grapes. I would welcome your assistance. Winemaking is not easy work, but performing this task will certainly aid to your appreciation of the wine that you drink. Harder still when nasty goblins find their way into the fields and drive you off. I think, though, you might be sturdy enough to aid me. If you would, gather the grapes on the vine, still hale and hearty enough, and I will see that this cask is filled with the finest this vale has to offer. The vineyard is below us and further to the west along the stone path, but be careful of the goblins. They are particularly nasty. And I just made level 8, so I picked up a new ability. And that new ability allows me to regenerate my focus. It's a channeled skill, adds 1 focus every 0.3 of a second until I'm full. A very important skill. I use that skill an awful lot during my hunts. Because having a full thing of focus opens up a lot of my other skills, and it allows me to start with a big burst of DPS, and then I use the other skills to refurnish it, and I just keep going that way, and it just starts off the combat a lot better, I found. A rare vintage.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
My friend, I wonder if I can ask you to undertake a task for me? It is bad enough that the goblins despoil Linnaeus' vineyard, but recently a party of the wretched creatures broke into an old wine cellar and stole a number of flasks of rare and ancient vintages. No doubt the evil creatures have already drunk or destroyed most of the wine, but if you can recover any of the bottles from the goblins in this area, I would be deeply in your debt. You could find the goblins throughout Linnaeus' vineyard, but I would not venture beyond into the Rath Tarag, as the goblins there are rather more dangerous. And I just noticed that I don't have buff bars, options, effect windows. There we go. And now I only have a single. Well, at least I hope I only have a single. We'll find out. Yes, only a single. Very good, very good. We'll go ahead and put it right up there. That's good. Buff bars is just one of those add-ons that I highly recommend anybody who plays the Lord of the Rings Online get. It's out of date, but it still works. There are some patches for it. People have been keeping it updated, but the main one is out of date, and you'll find it at LOTROUI.com. But basically, the biggest thing that it does is it adds these up here. And they'll flash as things get lower, or there'll be a countdown on them, especially when I start getting into foods and scholar buffs and hunter oils and stuff. I'll be looking at that a lot just to make sure that I'm always on top of those. And it looks like somebody just went through here. Well, I can still pick up the grapes, and then I can find Pampush down to the back end of the area. So we'll grab the grapes first. There we go. So we'll bring those grapes back once I go ahead and get rid of some of the goblins around here. And of course, there's a deed for killing goblins. And that was the start of my trapping deed, because there's a deed for traps too. Oh, there's Pamprush right there. Let's take him down now. Boom. Oh, and they left this chest here. How? That's so sad. And I just need one more wine flask from a random goblin, but I've already got all the goblins defeated that I needed. So we'll head over here. Oh, nothing there. There we go. That's my last wine cask, so it looks like all my quests here are clear. So we will go ahead and head back. I guess we'll have to fight our way out. That's no big deal. There we go. Oh, I wish I had split shot. I love split shot. And I'm disconnected again. All right. Sorry about that. I seem to be losing my connection to the servers again. That's the second time that's happened already. I think part of it is just the fact that these are new servers and so forth, so I'm not worrying about things quite yet. So let's go ahead and turn in these quests. A rare vintage.
Sweet-eyed Melon.
Ah, very good. You have done all that I could ask. Thank you for your efforts. Those wicked creatures will learn better than to raid my wine cellars in the future. I think we want the vintner's leggings, but actually that's not that much of an upgrade. It's just armor. So, how do they look? No. So, just grab them. Grab the most expensive ones and sell them. Gleaning the field.
Sweet-eyed Melon.
Very good. Yes, for now, your efforts today will bring great... Excuse me. Will bring great joy to many. Hard work brings satisfaction, not just in winemaking, but in all things.
Sweet-eyed Melon, will you stay a moment?
And I've made ally of Ered Luin by completing 10 quests already. And those 10 quests also will grant you LOTRO coins, and traits. And lots of other, and in this case also 300 points toward Thorn's Hall faction. So I should probably go ahead and change my trait choices. Oh, I have 2 points to spend too. Can I get split shot? Yes, I can get split shot. I need 1 part in split shot. And let's get press onward. Because I want the heal. Having the heal is nice. Now, I have a spreadsheet. Yes, I know. Who doesn't have a spreadsheet? But this spreadsheet is kind of my, it's kind of like my guide to a lot of the games I play. If you see on the bottom here, you see I've got LOTRO, I've got Diablo 4, EverQuest 2, No Man's Sky, SWTOR stuff. But what it does, let me see here, LOTRO Landerval is the full one. But what this does is it lets me know what where I'm going to build my legendary items at, what I want in each one of the slots. Does some crafting, things like that. On the Angmar server, I also have, well, I haven't filled it in here. I have filled in down here, which showed me the 5 virtues that I want to go ahead and fill in. And the first one is fidelity. And the reason for fidelity, in fact, for a lot of the skills, is... Oh, and I can also go ahead and add charity for now if I want. Hey, let's just add it until I get fidelity a level. But fidelity, if you look down here, it adds, it's a defensive skill that adds tactical mitigation, vitality, and physical mitigation, which really helps on the defenses. And passively, even if I don't have it equipped, I still gain 4 morale from it. We'll go ahead and throw charity up there because I already got a level in it because I forgot to do it, but we want to get fidelity in there as soon as I can. Return the cask. All filled and ready for delivery. I would like to thank you for your assistance, as I would not have been able to see this last bit of harvest along without you. This cask is meant for another, however. I should like to see it sent along to my friend Brigadier. It was he who sent it to me, after all. Why should he not have the finest wine in the valley? If you would, take this back to him at Celondim, and you will find him at the Crafter's Market. Ah, yes, I know exactly where he's at. Well, we'll see about picking up a few more things along the way here. We'll go ahead and do this. That's going to go there. And split shot's going to go there. And we'll go ahead and pick up my crafting skills on this trip because I know exactly what I want to grab. The 3 skills that I want to grab. Oh, and I picked up some new mail from Breathblood. A message of thanks. I wanted to send you a bottle of the wine from the Mail's vineyard. I thought it would be fitting that you should taste the vintage that you helped prepare. Well, that was very nice of her. Thank you very much. That was very, very nice. I will definitely save that. And it looks like I picked up some cases and stuff. We'll clear up the inventory in a couple minutes. I have another ad break coming in 5. I want to see about getting back to Celondim before then. And then we'll go ahead and take a few minute break. I'll do crafting, and then we'll figure out the next course of action from there. But the break will only be for a minute, because that's all I have the ads set for. So. Definitely I'm going to need all the light hide I can get so I can work on my tailoring. Because foresting and tailoring are 2 of the 3 that I usually get. And the third one, of course, being scholar. Alright, so we're on the road. Get back on my horse. And here we are at the crafting areas. And right there is Regador. And we are going to go ahead and take a few minute break here. I'm just going to let the ads run. They're only going to be for about a minute. And I will be right back. Oh, I don't have my AFK on the screen. That's weird. Let me move it over. And we will be right back. And we are back. There we go. Let's get that off the screen. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk to Brigadur and turn in this cask.
Mae Govannen.
Thank you, and thank my friend Brethowin for knowing my intentions. I understand that Brethowin was beset by goblins, but you fought many off to obtain this spirit. Know that it was for a worthy cause.
Mae Govannen, might you spare a moment of your time?
Gift for a friend. Before you leave, I have one more boon to ask of you. I promised a bottle of last year's vintage to a friend in Duillond to the north, and my labors have kept me too busy to fulfill that pledge. I hope this is not inconvenienced her. Could you deliver this bottle to Duillond for me? The refuge lies on the road that follows the river north beyond Limnail's vineyard. If you reach the dwarf port of Celondim, you'll travel too far north. Perhaps you should use one of the horses from here in Duillond. Okay. And I am now level 9. Alright, so one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Gwalilth, because I have a quest. Let me go ahead and pull those crafting quests up.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Crafting, a terrace in Celondim. Mibrail sent you to me? You must be interested in learning a crafting trade, then. Wonderful. Heirloom will be better for your efforts, my friend. Speak with the master apprentices on this terrace, where he can help you choose the professions in which to specialize. Once the master apprentice has welcomed you to your chosen professions, be sure to speak with the supplier. She can tell you the tools of your trade. Every profession has its own tools, so be not over-shy with your coin purse. The novices will be happy to sell you any recipes you might wish to have, but I can tell you now that you already know how to make a thing or two. Equip the crafting tools you plan on using and find the appropriate facility. Celondim has a forge, workbench, and oven available for your use, and begin to practice your skills. You will advance in your chosen professions as you practice and seek out the teachings of others in the field. Hope that you will soon become a skilled crafter, and that it will bring you joy and profit to Elleridluin. And here's a master of apprentices. And I know the three I want to take. I want to take Scholar.
Hail, friend, and well met.
And I want to take Tailor.
Mae Govannen.
And I want to take Force.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Now, the reason why I took those three is very simple. Scholar is, it has the crafting, the gathering profession, and the crafting profession all in one. So you get everything you need there. Tailor and Forester are the crafting and gathering professions for each other. So this way I have access to tailoring so I can make my armor, and I have access to crafting, or Scholar, which will give me all of the oils and the battle scrolls and so forth that I need as a hunter. So I find that those three tend to be the best collection for my purposes. Again, your mileage may vary, and pick the ones that you think are best for you. But for me, that's where I tend to go.
You may be of service to me.
And this was the quest that I got for outfitting yourself and others. You must be Shanchandra. I have been awaiting your arrival, and I'm excited to see that our letter has found you well. I am Gofladir, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm here to help you through the very first stages of learning a craft, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And now there's the introductory quests to Forestry, Scholars, and Tailoring.
You may be of service to me.
And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly
Will you lend
collect
me your
them.
ear? Swilad Melon.
And then
Will
work
you
on
stay
them one
a
at a
moment?
time. So first one is to speak to the supplier for forestry.
How can I be of service?
And what he's going to do is he's going to give me the basics and teach me the basics of crafting. And there's the tools that I need. Let's move them down here. I have all the ingredients to make brushed light leather and a thin rowan board. So you make brushed light leather at the woodbench. Or excuse me, at the workbench. And you use the forester skill to make the leather. But I also need to equip a forester's axe, which I did happen to pick up. And there's that, and now I need to make a thin rowan board. And there we go. And now that I've made those, we return those to the supplier.
How can I be of
and turn in
service?
the quest. And that's the introduction to forestry. And now that I've done forestry, we will go ahead and talk to the novice tailor to start working on the tailoring skill.
What can I do for you?
And he also gives me a crate that has my basic supplies. And I now have all the ingredients. I need to go over to the workbench. Using the tailoring skill, I need to create a rough cloak. And for that, I need to equip the tailor's tools. There we go. And then I show my work. And he likes it.
What do you need?
And so I've completed the introduction to tailoring. And let's take a look at the cloak real quick, see if there's something I want to equip. Evade, 3 die. Probably not. The 3 regen is very, very nice. And for the scholar, I need to talk to the scholar who is up here.
Mae Govannen.
And she will give me a crate of ingredients. Scroll of Minor Scholar Lore. And the early scholar levels, you don't even need a crafting bench to do them. You can just do them with what you have, as long as you have a scholar's glass. So we'll go ahead and equip the scholar's glass and go into my crafting and go to scholar. And this is they want a minor scholar lore, which is right here, minor scholar lore. And then I turn it in, and I've completed my introduction.
Hail, friend, and well met.
Introduction to all my scholarship quests. There we go. And then when I get to a higher level, I can talk to the master of the crafting guild, and I can join the tailor's guild and the scholar's guild, which we'll talk about much later down the road. But that's the basic, quick 5-second introduction to crafting in LOTRO. Get the supplies, go make sure you have the appropriate tool equipped, make sure you have the, and then you go ahead and do your crafting. Let's see here. That there. And I have 2 jeweler cases, which I will save because I will probably end up and make a jeweler down the road. I am not going to worry about that. That's some food, which we will definitely keep. Five, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So what is it that is? There we go. 5, 10, 11. Okay. So now let's go to Prologue, the Wrath of the Elves, and talk to Carnivore, who is down here. Because he asked me to defeat as many goblins as I could to avenge his son.
A shadow is on my spirit.
What is this? Pamper said that my son still lives? Evethel was not slain? My heart wants to believe, but believe the words of a goblin? Still, I cannot fathom why he would tell you this if it were not so. But if Evethel is still alive, then his capture does not bode well. I fear he will not live long while imprisoned by those outcast dwarves. They are no better than the goblins.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
Prologue. the master of the refuge. You have done so much for me already, but there is still much that must be done if my son is to be restored. We have not had dealings with the dwarves for a very long time, and those are not pleasant memories. Have you heard of Skorgrim Dourhand's attack on the old refuge of Duillond? Dwarves are scheming and self-serving, not to be trusted. We must gather our strength to lay siege to the dwarves of Luin and rescue Eirithal from their clutches. But only Dorogur Whitethorn, master of Duillond, has the authority to muster such a force. Bring to him news of my son, that he is alive but a prisoner. We must strike at the dwarves before it is too late. Speak with Toron at the stable before you go. He will hasten you upon your journey. And there's Toron right there. Leaving Middle-earth.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Long have my brother and I dwelt upon these shores, and much have we seen in that time. Now the time has come for us to leave this place and sail into the west. My brother, however, does not see clearly and wishes to remain here. We have always dwelt together, and I could not consider a day in my life without his company and counsel. He is the cord which binds me to this Middle-earth. While he has a mind to remain, I am forced to wait with him. If you would, go to Duillond and see if you can convince Bregar to join me here in Celondim. It is time that we begin our journey. The refuge is north along the road.
What can I do for you?
And we'll go ahead and take a medium speed, medium speed steed to Duillond. Level 9. I think at level 10 I can actually form a kinship. By the way, for those of you who are interested, I do have a Discord server. The link is down below. I also have a YouTube channel where I do YouTube videos. This stream will be up on that YouTube channel probably tomorrow sometime. Once I edit it, put it together, get rid of the breaks where I lost stream and so forth. Well, there is a Dolingil who was one who I needed to bring the bottle of wine to.
Mae Govannen.
Splendid. I must admit that I wondered if perhaps Bregador would come through on his promise. I should have known that he would not forget a friend. Ah, this vintage is the promise of aging nicely. Perhaps in some 30 years it will have aged sufficiently. You have my thanks. Let's take a look at that cloak. Is it a nice cloak? It's kind of plain. I probably won't. Ah, there's the notary. Let me see if I can actually form a guild. To be eligible for a surname, you must be at least level 15. Relationships? Nope. No. Heritage of Imladris. I already got the one I wanted because I'm already Emladris. I will say it right eventually. I wonder if there's a better bow out.
What do you need?
The stick longbow, no. The yew bow, no. Okay. And there's Breaker. Let's go ahead and talk to him.
The sorrows of the Eldar are never ending.
My brother wishes to leave Middle-earth, but I believe it is time for us to stand our ground against the shadow growing in the east. With your helps, perhaps Thorin will see reason. This Middle-earth which we love will soon face great peril, and we are bound to defend it. I cannot yet sail west.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
Thorin must know that while I remain behind, I will ever be with him. To do this, I will need your aid. So much of this land has been our shelter and teacher, and our memories are filled with moments of joy and laughter because of this land. I think, perhaps, my brother will appreciate this well enough to see me on my journey as he begins his own. In the ruins of Dol Ringwest, there lies a sword upon a stone cairn, worn once by a Dunedain who fought beside in defense of our homeland. I may be able to remind my brother of our duty to Middle-earth. My duties here will not allow me to leave, but I hope you will see the need I have to seal this rift between my brother and me. Will you help? Of course. And then, of course, he has another quest, the evil at Dol Ringwest.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Ancient battles were fought at the ruins of Dol Ringwest, and we had fought the evil purged. Now goblins toil within the ruins and desecrate the memory of the place. I would ask that you do your best to clear the goblins from these ruins. It will ease my heart and perhaps aid my brother Ton to relieve in peace. So we will head over to Dol Ringwest. Oh, and there, right there, is the prologue, Dol Uther Whitethorn, the master of the refuge.
How can I be of service?
Your news is troubling. For dwarves to work peacefully with goblins is unusual enough, but to conspire in the abduction of an elf prince seems foolhardy even for them. We'll not call our warriors to arms just yet. Carnival is full of anger, which is to be expected, but as Master of Duillond it is my duty to exercise restraint. If the dwarves have indeed taken Averthal, we will fall upon them with such a fury that the mountains shall shake at our passing. But this could also be a trick of the goblins. They would have much to gain for a war between the elves and the dwarves.
Stay a moment.
Prologue, the Emissary. I've dispatched an emissary to the dwarf city of Gondomar to relax the growing tensions between the elves and the dwarves, but I fear rumor of Averthal's captivity may prove too great a strain for her to ease. Journey north and west along the road to Gondomar and tell Gelathin what has transpired here. Together, you and she must learn the truth of Averthal's whereabouts and rescue him, if indeed he is a prisoner of the dwarves. I do not wish for war until we are certain of his fate. If Averthal has been harmed or we are unable to free him, then I will call our warriors to arms. But not before. And he wants me to bring his letter to Galathin. Galathin, troubling news has reached me concerning Averthal, the son of Caravar, and I feel that your work amongst the dwarves will become more complicated. There's a very real possibility the dwarves have abducted Averthal and plan to do some great harm. I want you to work with the bearer of this note to find and rescue Averthal, if you can. If the Stout Hand knows something about the fate of Kedover's son, then there may be fighting again in Ered Luin. Dorvagar. Oh, that does not sound good. That does not sound good at all. Okay. It looks like I am off to Gondomar, which is the dwarf city, or dwarf satellite, dwarf outpost. Let's go ahead and load up a horse. Oh, and also in every zone, there is a reflecting pool. The reason why there's a reflecting pool is it allows you to go back and redo instances. There are some instances that give you additional rewards for multiple completions. There are some that you might be looking for a specific reward from that instance, and this allows you to repeat that instance. Right now, I don't believe I have... Yeah, I don't have any... It might be because I'm mounted. Sometimes I don't let you use things mounted, so let's try again. Yeah, I don't have any instances that I can redo here now, but that will change. As you see, Duillond also has a full set of crafting as well. I'm trying to find if I can actually form my guild. But I don't see a person here. So we will worry about it later. But there's some Roman branches that I want to go ahead and... Oh, and there's a bird, too. For birding. I have not even started birding yet on any character, so that's something that we will probably start sometime on this character, and give birding a try. So we'll go ahead and do Dol Ring West first before we head to Gondomar, since Dol Ring West is actually closer. It's right over here. So those ruins right up there on that hill. Go to options and unlock quick slot bars. Because that's a very important ability right there to track artifacts. I don't really worry about the track wood all that much, but the tracking of artifacts is something I definitely want. What it is when some artifacts show up on my mini map here, I will show them to you. But they are very handy, being able to track what you're looking for. And honestly, in some zones, the ability to find the artifacts and stuff that you need for crafting is very, very difficult. Now I actually have split shots. Let's see if I can get them both. Yes! Oh, I just love that sound. And I just completed the first level of the Goblin Slayer deed. So we wanted to... This is part of the deed tracker. Like I did the Arid Lewin Goblin Slayer. And I've defeated 30 goblins in Erdluin, so to get the advanced is 60, because it's always double. And I got a title, and I also picked up 5 more LOTRO points. And those are the 8 goblins that I needed to defeat here, but there's still goblins in my way, so we'll go ahead and take care of them. Excuse me 1 second. And here's a stone cairn. Oh, I gotta take care of this guy first. And this was the stone cairn that I needed to pull the sword from. I found the broken sword. And there was a named goblin. There he is. Drop a trap. And take care of this guy. Got it. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't even have a port yet, so. All right. check something real quick. I'm just so used to the way I play. I usually play a lot more on foot more than I do on horseback, because later on in the game you'll be able to actually fight off of horseback, but it's really not worth it. It's more of a pain in the butt than anything else, and I tend to not even worry about it. I only use it when I absolutely have to. So I'm just so used to being on foot. Evil at Dol Ringwest.
My heart cannot sing today.
The memory of that place will always be one of melancholy. Knowing that goblins have been purged restores a small measure of hope to me. You have brought a timely resolution with regard to Dol Ringwest. I thank you for this. And I completed 2 deeds. I made it to level 10 without failing in battle, and epic battles have been unlocked. New skirmishes are available, and LOTRO points gained. And I gained the ability to start tracking. I can now track beasts. Let's go ahead and put that where I like it, on the bar.
Grey is the shadow upon my heart.
This blade means much, broken and dull as it may be. Alas, the passage of time does little to dull my memories of that battle. Perhaps I have underestimated the importance of brothers.
Will you hear my sorrows?
Now is found. I did not think that the sight of this blade would move me so. This belonged to a friend of ours, a Dunedain named Thora. He died helping us defend Dol Ringwest many long years ago. We buried him and built a cairn where he fell in honor of his sacrifice. Perhaps Thorin is right. There are many harsh memories here. In the West we would be free of such pain. His soul deserves a better home, away from the goblins that loot the dead. Bring it to Langlis at Thrassi's Lodge north of here, along the road and west of Killadur. He is a ranger of the north and will keep well the history of his kingsmen. I will send word to my brother. I don't think I can get a ride to Thrassi's Lodge. I think I have to discover it first before I can ride to it. There are certain places that you get automatic discovery to.
Hail, friend, and well met.
No, you see, right here, the Thrassi's Lodge, I could ride to it, but I would have to pay mithril coins, and I don't have any right now. So we will make the trip to Thrassi's Lodge. And for those of you who are interested, we can't go there and do anything yet, but the Thalathorn homesteads are this way. We can't buy homes as of yet on the new 64-bit servers. They've got that turned off for a few days while they're still working on getting everybody transferred over. But when they open them up, I'm probably going to go to the Thalathorn homesteads. And it's probably where I'm going to get my house, and it's probably where I'm going to put the kingship house this time. Unless talking to a few members of the kingship would want to join me, unless they have a better option. But that's where I'm debating right now. Ah, yes, the dwarf town of Celondim has been taken over by the Dour Hands. We'll be spending some time in there soon enough. Right now, though, we're heading to Thrasi's Lodge, which is up here. And as you notice, the stable master has a greenish tinge to his coat over his head. That lets you know that you have not discovered him, so you cannot use him as a travel point yet. But all you have to do is right-click on him.
Well met, friend.
And now you can travel to him. And you can see I have a ride to Duillond and Gondomar from here. And I also have a bunch of quests. But I'm looking at the time. I'm afraid I'm going to have to call my stream at an end for today. So I would like to thank everyone for joining me today. I had a good time. We accomplished a lot, even though we had some crashes and some game crashes and some stream hiccups. I think we did really good. And thank you, Assault Vixen. I hope you have a good evening too. Let me see, how many people do we have in chat right now? I've got 3. Let's see who might be interested in a raid. I want to go ahead and raid somebody. I don't get to do this very often. Oh, how about this? Currently on LOTRO stream right now, the Adventures After Dark with Big Ed Mustafa is on, and he only has a few viewers. Let's go ahead and join him. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope you take care, and I will see you all soon as I start this raid.
Embarrassed to admit that I've lived most of my life in Michigan and I've never been to Frankenmuth.
Well, I know the fudge from there is considered world famous, and I didn't know if you'd ever had a chance to try it or not.